was overwhelmed. Sorry, River Kaduna was so heavy, such that the Shiroro Dam or River Kaduna, built within the Niger State, they had to open their gate on Sunday, last Sunday, 30th of August. Now, with these two dams, it is possible to regulate the flow of water within River Niger. But on River Benue, we don't have any single dam there. To answer your question, like, why didn't we do anything between 2012 and now? That is the answer. We don't have that dam to regulate. So the best we can do for now is to continue to people, let them know the danger so that they keep relocating once it is coming to this just month, July, August, and September, where we experience the heavy amount of flooding in Nigeria. So could it have been possible to build those water detention barriers to be able to control the flow of water or the volume of the flood coming to Nigeria?
Now, Prof, normally, and I'm talking before global warming, is it not true that at about this time of the year, the rains are beginning to disappear?
No.
We're still in rainy season.
Rainy season.
Up until when?
Depends on where you are. By the end of the month, most of the stations in the northern part, most of the areas in the northern part, will not be getting much rain anymore. Okay. Occasional showers. Okay. But the southern part will still be getting till the end of October.
Till the end of October?
The difference is that the time interval between the days of rain will now be a bit more spread. So it rains today, may not rain for another 4 days. So that the effect of today's rain will have been absorbed by the soil before another one comes. But what is happening now that is giving us the concern in the urban areas is that every day, so the soil doesn't have the time to absorb
before another one comes.
That's where the challenge is.
Okay, so in this situation where we find ourselves, Mr. Nzia said the alert one, the flood alert, has to do with river flooding. But we still have the urban floods that are happening, and they are flowing back into the water bodies. Sure. So what
and the water bodies are full already.
They are full, and more rains are coming. So that flows, especially around the Benue. What can be done, Prof? I mean, if he has talked about the need for more dams, that is a task assigned to the federal government, so to speak. So what can states, those states along that axis, what can they do to solve this challenge?
Many
or to
things,
help?
Many. I think the MD from the Hydrological Services, it's just that my country likes to react rather than be proactive. Between 2012 and now, we have more than enough time to have been able to say whether we like it, whether there's global warming or not. Flood is a constant feature of our lives. It depends on whether it becomes a disaster or not, but that it will not flood in a year is not possible. Where it will flood and how much flood we will have may not be very easy to determine except when we start having the very sophisticated equipment. While it is true that we talk about dams, the world is no longer in support of large dams. The world is talking about sustainable dams as small dams, that they do not have too much impact on the environment. So in addition to these dams, which should not be very huge ones, let us have a comprehensive plan as to how we want to manage all the floodplains of our major rivers over a period of time. If it will include relocating people, yes. But it may not really include it if we really use it very well. The other thing we can do is that we are not utilizing the water availability for the development of this country. Water transport is a major thing that Benue Valley could be developed so that people don't have to go by road from Lagos to, when they can go from Lokoja all the way to, if the channels are properly drained with small ferries here and there.
So that would involve dredging the water channels.
You dredge so most of the things that is happening, that the sedimentation that are taking place along these rivers for over the years, when you measure the height, if that height of 12 meters they're talking about, if we have been able to scoop out about 3 or 4 meters of sediment that had accumulated over many, many years, that water will be only about 9 meters above. So we need to look at it, and I think my advice to the government is that let us have a comprehensive, technical, sharing knowledge from other countries, even when we talk about the coastal region. Netherlands is managing its own cities along the coast.
Below sea level.
You said something earlier about the floodplains relocating the people, but we know that the floodplains are the most fertile in the land. So how about turning into agricultural fields?
Exactly. That's why I say it may not involve relocating the people. If we can really develop means by which the people can see that they can utilize this area for their own livelihoods in a sustainable manner, guided by a lot of support from technical knowledge of what is available, then it may not really, but I think we just enjoy having to distribute post-flood benefits to people, and that shouldn't be. Right. Let us try to help the people to be able to utilize the floodplain to their maximum advantage. It doesn't mean that there may not be any flood, though. Because when you look at what is even happening in India, despite all those dams and everything, every year, the Ganges will still pour in a lot. But you cannot compare the rainfall of the Ganges to the rainfall in Nigeria. There's a heavy rainfall in a monsoon, which come in very huge storms. I
was smiling when you were talking, Prof, because I was appreciating the irony of what you were talking about. I mean, so much water, and yet we don't have drinking water.
Exactly.
So much water, and we can't use it as mode of transportation. So, I mean, we have to start winding down now. So I want you to advise us, the people, what we should be doing so that we don't get caught in this cycle every year. And then maybe a word of advice for the government as well as to what it should be doing to mitigate the suffering of the people every year.
I think the people have to understand their own environment, which they seem to understand. It's just that I think nature is, as he mentioned, is very fertile agricultural land. So people want to take the best out of it. But a lot of fishing activities and all that can be done along this. So the people may not have the technical knowledge to cope. So we need to help the people to enhance their capacity. Government must come out, and I think the time is enough now. We must come out with a comprehensive approach we want to use. I understand there's a water master plan, but does it address this flood in an integrated manner in which agriculture, water management, and all the water drinking, it is not really interesting for us to be complaining about flood when many of the cities along this plain, including Lokoja, don't have enough water for people to drink.
And they're sitting
sitting on so much water. So why don't we divert some of this water into urban water systems that can be used
Mr.
for the people to...
Your final word, please, in one sentence before we go.
Thank you. The final statement I want to make is that the states that have been listed should take necessary measures to relocate people. We don't know whether Lagdo Dam will be open, but as of today, it is not yet opened. If it should be opened, Lagdo Dam, that will portend more problems. So let the states take necessary measures to be on guard to ensure that lives are not lost in the event of any higher rise of water level within these states that lie
Thank you very much.
along the rivers Niger and Benue.
Thank you very much, Mr. Clement Nze, Director, Engineering, Hydrology, Nigeria Hydrological Services Agency. And we also had Professor Emmanuel Odadlikpupo, Professor of Climatology. Thank you very much for coming to warn us yet again.
I see you.
We go through this every rainy season. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sunrise will return with another interesting conversation in just a moment. Do stay with us.